Well, looks like we've just recorded episode 4, Discovering Workplace. However, we didn't talk about workplace that much. This is an episode you ain't going to want to miss. We talked about the Egyptian pyramids. We talked about human civilization 11,500 years ago. We also talked about zombies and how all of these things relate to the world of facilities management. Now, we do touch on it a little bit, but what's this one? It's really, really interesting. Pleasure to be joined by Matt Brownlee, Alex McCann and James Murphy. Get into it, guys. You'll enjoy it. See you soon.
Yeah. And she sent me a message back, don't miss City, you're great at what you do, just go for it. You're going to smash it, I know you will.
Yeah, you're in a situation like, I just need to get this sorted and fixed.
Yeah, to just sort of really enhance those conversations and get them up to speed.
So I developed a saga of my own called The Signal Wars.
We're closer in time to Cleopatra when she was alive and ruling than she was to the building of the pyramids.
How do you think AI will impact workplace moving into the future, the next 5 to 10 years? Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, we're back. It's winter. I'm wearing a jumper. It's a sad day. The temperature has dropped in London town, but don't worry. The FM Exchange is back. Episode 4, Discovering Workplace. Before I get into the introductions, I just want to say to everybody out there in the world of the internet, obviously producing a production like this takes time, it takes energy, and we put a significant amount of work in it. The only thing that makes it work is if people like you support us. So please like, follow and share across the mediums whereby you're watching this production today, whether it's Spotify, YouTube, LinkedIn, wherever. Please support us as we continue to try and bring you interesting content. Anyway, enough about that. We have got such a good show for you today. I am joined by some absolute animals of the facilities management sphere. And when I say animals, I mean animals, proper beasts of the industry. I'd like to introduce you to Alex McCann.
Why am I first? Thought you were talking about Matt.
Who is a senior FM in the space. How you doing? Informer,
Good.
Are you well?
Yeah, I'm very good. Thanks for having me on.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Have you had a good day?
Day's been okay. Lots of calls, but progress is progress. So
moving forward, mate. That's what you got to do.
Moving forward,
Yeah. We've got James Murphy. Hello, James.
Hello, Mark.
Building manager, and someone who I am very, very happy to say is a very good friend of mine. So thank you very much for joining us on the podcast today.
Thanks for the invite.
That's all right, mate. We're going to be talking about some interesting stuff with you later as well, aren't we?
I think so, yeah.
Because you're not just an FM, are you?
No.
Ooh, let's build the anticipation for that one. And we've got to wait. And we're also joined by another friend of mine, Matt Brownlee, who is the Workplace Services Manager at ServiceNow. How you doing, Matt?
Hello, mate. Good.
You well?
Yeah, top of the world as always. Yeah.
I like to call Matt the Lasagna-Topper of facilities management. If anybody wants to send a comment asking why, please feel free, because it probably seems an incredibly weird thing to say, but it's a good saying anyway. And how are you doing, Matt? You well?
Yeah, good.
Have you had a good day?
Yeah, good. Long day.
Busy?
Started off early in the boat. Training session this morning.
Oh, really?
7. Yeah, 0 degrees on the water.
Lovely.
But, then day in London, sorting problems, saving the world as we do.
Saving the world. Put the cape on. Yeah.
Underwear on the outside.
Underwear on the outside. It's got to be done. Okay, we'll get back into what you do as a hobby, actually, because that's actually a very interesting thing that you get into there. Yeah, cool. Okay, guys, so I always start the show the same way, all right? As you know, the whole purpose of the podcast is to inspire the next generation, close the skills gap, reduce the average age of people within the space. So I'm going to go around the room this way. That's the only reason you were first, by the way, Alex. You were sat next to me.
Yeah. Well, I like the introductions. How my friend James, my friend Matt, and the animal Alex,
Well,
but I'm going to let it slide. I know it was.
Yeah, but no,
made it in a friendly way.
No, you reneged on the cleaning opportunity, mate. That's what it was. It's completely done you. So you should never promise things.
I fall on my sword.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, I fall on my sword.
Yeah, otherwise you end up on a podcast, right?
I am winding you up.
Yeah.
Of course. No, I just know these guys socially is probably what I mean. But I know you socially, but not quite as much. Hopefully one day, maybe we could get there, mate. You know what I mean?
I hope so. Yeah, I think
Should I
so.
stroke your knee?
I mean, the cameras are on. So,
I know, yeah, let's behave. Yeah, let's behave.
It's okay. Yeah,
But
anytime.
anyway, let's get away from all that. Tell us a little bit about how you got into FM. How did that transpire for you? Did you go through education and so on?
I think a lot of people have said people fall into FM. That's exactly what I did. I studied drama at uni.
Did you really?
And I thought, there's a danger I might be an actor or something. But I think the
So you didn't want to.
the problem was the problem was I wasn't very good at it. So kind of worked in a theatre and did some ticketing and bits and pieces.
Right.
And then I was tired of the kind of late nights and the weekend working, and it was all very antisocial hours. And a friend of mine was working in facilities at Sony PlayStation at the time, and he's like, "Hey, we've got a Christmas temp position. Come along if you're looking for something else." And I thought anything's better than kind of what I'm doing right now.
That's probably quite a cool place to go as well.
It was a great place to go.
You were doing like drama and things like that. It's kind of still in that entertainment
very
sphere,
gamey
isn't it?
and arty. So I applied, was fortunate to get it. I don't think he had any major influence on that, although he may have done. But that was a 1 month temping position over Christmas. But actually, 1 month went by, and then another month went by, and I was temping. And after about a year, they said, "Look, Alex, this is getting silly. We're going to just make you permanent." And so I was, I think, facilities assistant at the time.
Right.
After
Can I ask
about a year.
how old were you then, Alex? Out of interest.
It's a good question. I think I would have been about 25.
So still quite young then.
Quite young, but wasn't fresh out of uni or anything. I'd been kind of looking around, thinking about what to do, and trying in the theatre world for a bit. But
so can I ask as well? Do you still have ambitions to be an actor? Do you still get involved in that world? Or?
No, I don't.
No?
I really respect it and love it. I still love everything about it, but I don't think that's where my future is, unless it's as maybe FM in a.
Who knows?
In a movie studio or something.
Let me list a few names for you, mate.
Oh, yeah. Right. Have you got some contacts?
Robert Carlyle, right? Robson Green. Who was that? Christopher Lee.
Right.
There was loads and loads of people that had normal jobs and then fell into acting because they joined a local drama club, went to the right.
Do you know, I've heard that.
Yeah.
I think Bruce Willis may have done something like that as well. So you never know. Hey, you never know. But
did we just become best friends?
He's desperate for it, isn't he?
The magic was
desperate for it.
Yeah, but no, I'm happy where I am now. Very happy where I am, and it's been a wild journey in FM up to here.
Yeah. And how long have you been in the industry now?
Well, I am 42, so more years than I care to count. But
you must have had a really easy paper round. Why does everybody else that's over 40 look really old, really young, apart from me?
I don't know. Good moisturiser.
Yeah. It's the northern air. I think that's what it is. It does you.
Just for men.
Yeah, just for men.
Darken the greys.
Yeah, just wear a hat.
It's not the air. Yeah, it's fine. It's the face, mate. It's the face. It's like it's windswept or something like that. It's done me right over.
You're all right. You're all right.
I'm not too bad. I'm all right. The wife likes it, mate.
That's the main thing.
Yeah. Okay, so tell me, what about outside of work? Have you got family? What do you get involved in?
Happily married, 2 girls, young kids, 5 and 3.
God, you're busy,
6 and 3. Just had a birthday, and they fill up a lot of time. They're great kids.
Yeah,
full of cheek.
Yeah. That's why you get up and do it, innit?
It's great. It's great.
Yeah.
I wouldn't change it, but
you can see the pride in your face actually when you talk about them, which is always nice.
Yeah, the good kids.
James, similar question to yourself. Tell us a little bit about how you ended up in the industry, and I guess as well, why you've stayed in it. I suppose.
Well, like everyone says, you do kind of fall into it, but with me, I grew into it because I started as a resident caretaker for local council. So I was like doing general maintenance myself.
Okay.
And then that fell into going into education. So I worked in secondary schools, primary schools as a site manager.
Right.
Worked alongside my dad for a little while when he was there. And we doing general repairs again, meeting contractors.
But
on
that
the
was
site.
quite nice, actually.
It was all right. Yeah, it was good. Working with teachers, working with young students. Damaging the property, having to repair the property.
What? So you damaged it, then repaired it? I need a bit of overtime.
It was just it was interesting times. Good school, and then just got an opportunity to work in Battersea, looking after an industrial site.
Right.
As a site supervisor there.
Was that prior to the redevelopment?
Yes, before that, before that. So it was like almost across the road for it, the other side.
Yeah.
And I was there about 5 years and had a good time. And
and that kind of took you into that commercial world.
Yeah, because I was kind of hungry for it then.
Right.
All the repairs I was doing myself stopped because I was instructing contractors to do that.
Yeah.
And then become a facilities manager later on and been doing it ever since. Yeah.
Oh, okay. And now what do you do?
I'm a building manager now. So I used to look after multiple buildings. 79 was the most, and I had a team underneath me.
Yeah, because you used to look after estates and things
That's
like
right.
that.
So
you've
it
had
is
quite a
pretty much
diverse career. Over the last...
and then I went down to 30 odd buildings, and now I'm looking after just one asset, one building in Mayfair, which is a big change from.
So
what
you've
I've been doing.
retired effectively.
No,
Is that what it is?
I wouldn't say retired. I just think looking after one trophy asset, focus your main attention on looking after the occupiers within that building, which also includes the client who's on site, and you've got that main focus there, and you're not juggling lots of other plates with other buildings. I think all the skills that I had looking after multiple buildings is now. It's good use in the one building itself.
Yeah, okay. So just for the people that don't necessarily know the industry, when you say trophy asset, what do you mean?
So it's like probably the biggest asset that the client would have.
Yep.
It's a large asset compared to what I've had before.
Right.
And it's in Mayfair, right close to where it's all happening. So
Yeah.
Yeah, you sometimes get these flagship buildings, and I see that as one of those.
Yeah, okay. So so when you're talking about flagships or trophy assets, you're talking about large, high value schemes, I suppose.
Yeah,
so,
yeah.
the Gherkin, walkie-talkie,
Yeah,
those kind of schemes would sit within that trophy asset periphery, if that makes sense. Okay, cool. What's the most interesting thing that's happened to you today, James?
Most interesting thing?
Yeah.
It's coming along here to the podcast.
Good answer. That's what I like to see. Good lad. Good lad. And Matt. Same question to yourself. Talk us a little bit about. Obviously, you're not from the UK originally. No. So tell us a little bit about how that history brought you here and how that then turned into a career within Workspace, I suppose.
Oh, that's going back a ways. First off, I'm from New Zealand originally.
Whereabouts?
Christchurch. So
Christchurch.
South Island, where top of where the little nose sticks out, about halfway down.
Yeah.
So I say small city, 500,000 people. So
Funnily
enough, my first ever long haul flight was flying over here. So
was it really? No way.
But that's the last long haul flight.
He's not allowed back.
We'll see. So basically, what brought me over is a girl. So the girl, ex-girlfriend, brilliant organisational psychologist.
That is a timeless story, isn't it?
What's that?
Just a man following a girl.
Oh yeah,
timeless. Yeah.
So she got a role over here for a New Zealand company, and she basically was like, "Do you fancy moving to the UK?" I was like,
yeah.
Sure.
Yeah, why not?
So finished up uni. I was actually training to be a teacher at university, so FM's not my first career.
Right.
And then
what type of teaching?
Primary school.
Primary school.
Yeah.
So was that multiple subjects within primary school?
Yep.
Or
So in New Zealand, you're basically in one class for primary school, and that teacher teaches you everything. You might go to another class for science or something like that if there's a specialty teacher there, but
so why teach? What drove you to be a teacher? And I'll explain why I'm asking this in a minute, but it's quite interesting.
In all honesty, I don't know.
Right.
There was I was working as a chef. So I left school quite early. I left school when I was 16.
Yeah.
Worked as a chef for 5 years.
Right, okay.
And then, do you know what? I lost my passion for cooking.
Yeah.
So I knew it was time to kind of give that up. And for some reason, I thought teaching was
There's a
going to be my calling.
There's a Lasagna-Topper joke in there.
I almost threw it out.
One too many lasagna toppers.
Yeah. Did you win?
Yeah. Couldn't do it anymore. Yeah. Once I perfected that, there was nowhere else to go basically. With cooking. So I was like, do you know what? Let me take over the teaching world instead. Right, obviously, that didn't particularly pan out too well for me, and much like kind of most people, I fell into FM.
Yeah.
In fact, I thought I was getting fired.
Right.
I got offered my first invite to apply for an FM role.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So I was working in a post room at a fashion company.
Right.
Called Net-a-Porter. And they were redoing the post room because there were 3 of us in there. It was tiny, and we had 1,800 odd employees.
Yeah.
And you can imagine the volume of posts that's coming in. So they were talking about expanding this thing by, I think, 2 meters. And they come in, they go, right, here's the plans. We're going to put you guys here. We're going to do this. We're going to do that. I'm like, well, that's not very good. I'm like, why? I'm like, well, it's not really conducive to how we work, essentially.
Yeah.
Like, oh, well, it's health and safety. I was like, well, you've thought about safety, you haven't really thought about our health, like our health staring at a wall for, nothing wrong with post room jobs, obviously, but it's quite repetitive.
Yeah.
So anyway, I got a phone call that evening from the boss saying, "How can you come up and see me at my desk?" I was like,
oh no,
I shouldn't have said anything. Should have just kept my mouth shut and went up there, fully expecting to be all right. Pack your bags, see you later. She goes, "You thought about a career in facilities?" What's that? She goes, "That's what I do." I was like, "Oh yeah." She's like, "Yeah, I think you've got the right personality for it." She's like, "We've got this role coming up. We're opening a new office just down the road from here." She's like you to apply for it. And
so that individual was kind of like a bit of a mentor to you then.
Like, first mentor. Like I've been very, very lucky in my career that I've always sort of had someone that's seen something in me and drawn that out and sort of mentored me to be better as I progress. Which I think everyone needs and deserves, and that's what I try to do when I have people in my team that are up and coming and sort of they have that. Because I think you guys would agree there's like a certain something you have to succeed in this kind of role.
Have you guys experienced the same thing? Let's push that out, like in terms of mentoring.
You come across loads of people that you work with, and that helps you become a better better building manager because of the guidance you get and support.
Yeah, right.
Yeah. Do you find that perhaps there's like one individual that you've come across in your career that sticks in your head as that individual that helped you the most, that you keep in touch with, and that you did? Do you have that?
I've definitely had people who have influenced me a huge amount. I wouldn't. There was nothing formal about the mentorship, but I would class it as mentorship. Learning how those people operate, how they deal with challenging situations, how they stay calm in challenging situations, leading from the front. Definitely, for me, that's been a mentorship, and I've tried to soak it up, as much as possible when I've been there.
Yeah, it's quite interesting, isn't it? Like what I've noticed in my career is, and you know me, I laugh and joke a lot, don't I? It's just it's kind of my way, isn't it? Like I'm like the naughty kid in the back of the classroom that's firing spitballs at you. That's kind of how I describe myself.
That's what that is.
Yeah. That's kind of how I describe myself. But the one thing I have recognised, especially over the last several years, is that as my career has progressed and as I've got better in my career in terms of my nominated role, I feel just more mature, more confident, more capable, than perhaps I did even 5 years ago. And a lot of that, when I think back of it, it's kind of people that I've come across that I've learned things from, where I've perhaps made a mistake or dealt with something the wrong way, but then I've either been told off or whatever it may be, and I've learned from that and then applied it to my day-to-day.
It's not direct. You haven't been kind of instructed in that way. This is how to deal with it. You've just picked it up. Because you've seen someone else and go, okay, actually, that's a good way to handle it.
I quite like how you did that. And I think that you can apply that rationale to FM, can't you?
You can.
Yeah, because it's and that's what's quite interesting about FM. It's there's so many different facets to it.
Yeah.
It's not like you're an accountant whereby you just go look at a spreadsheet and look at numbers, or a solicitor where you're looking at the written language, and then there's so many different elements because you've got to be a solicitor, an accountant, you've got to be a problem solver, you've got to be security, cleaning, M&E. I mean, it's an exhaustive list, isn't it? It really is.
Funnily enough, I was thinking about this yesterday, and we really are kind of. I don't want to say like a concierge in a high-end hotel, but we are like that little black book for the business.
Yeah.
Or at least I find in my role in the company that I work for, is we're that go-to person for all the abstract, weird problems,
anything at all.
questions, anything. It's like if they don't know who to go to, well, Matt will probably know who to speak to. I think that's part of our business, right? Is as FMs and workplace professionals, is building those relationships and like remembering, oh, so and so works on that particular team and they cover X, Y, and Z, and if they can't do it, then this person might be able to do it. Or
it's being the centre of
let me
a
loop
business.
you in, loop you in with the right person for that question that you've come and asked me. Because I was chatting to a few friends from work because I had one. It's really annoying. There's one problem that I couldn't solve, and it was a weird one, and I'm not going to name the person, but someone had accidentally walked out of a shop with a security tag on their
Accidentally.
And she goes,
we've all done it.
I've got a really weird question. Sorry for calling you out on this one, if you're listening. I've got this really weird question. Is there any way you can get this off? And it actually annoyed me that I didn't have the right thing to do it. And I was saying to a few people, I was like, that's like the first time that someone's come to me with something that I haven't known either who to go to or have something to fix it.
Really?
And they're like, sure. And I'm like, no, there's like, I'm not trying to blow my own trumpet, but I'm like, it's like,
Yeah,
it's
that sounds like
annoyance.
a whole different
now I wanna
avenue of work as well.
But now I want
take
to go
those
and
tags
buy.
off,
I googled it, and now I want to go and buy a powerful magnet. So if it ever comes up again,
It is
my drawer.
magnetism, isn't it?
Yeah.
But how much? What was the value? What was the value of the item?
I don't know.
Was it under 200 quid?
Oh yeah.
Oh, well, you're all right these days. You don't
yeah.
get arrested for that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You can just go in and fill your
To be
trolley up. So.
She said she had the receipts, so you know.
She had the receipt.
Yeah, believe that. Yeah.
Oh, okay. So on that, what's the most challenging question you've ever been asked then each year in your daily duties?
Challenging question.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Or is the one that you get all the time where you're like, oh, for God's sake.
There's been challenging situations. I mean, I think I'm at risk of getting a new nickname other than the animal or whatever I am.
No, you're the beast.
The beast.
The beast.
That actually sounds better.
That's
but,
a good nickname, the beast.
Yeah, okay, I'll take that. But it might change very shortly now based on this. But no, I remember, I think it's because a lot of what we do is reacting to a situation and just fixing it as quickly as possible, right?
Yeah.
And doing it as calmly as possible. And I don't know why I'm thinking about this, even more so why I'm telling you it. But I had a situation once upon a time when I was in business and there was a flood in a toilet. It's always about toilets.
Yeah.
And it was actually from a urinal, and somebody, I don't know why, had used tissue paper and put it in the urinal.
Right.
Right, I don't know why, but that's what had happened, and the water couldn't go down the drain, and it was going everywhere, and it required just pulling the tissue out.
Yeah.
And I didn't have a glove on me, but I was like, well, look, this is what needs to happen. Before this gets worse, I'm just going to do it. And I did it, and fully sanitized afterwards. But that I think illustrates the point that you're in a situation like, I just need to get this sorted and fixed.
Yeah.
So yeah, it hasn't been a difficult question, but definitely a challenging mentally how I live with myself afterwards situation.
The hand has never looked the same again. It's like Scary Movie 3. It's a release of mashed potato.
That's the one.
But I think that's the mentality that I talked about. And sorry, I'm going to swear here, but it's the get shit done mentality. Because sometimes you just need to.
Just get it done.
Yeah, no, I can't say I've ever stuck my hand down a toilet to unblock it, but you know,
never for work. He only does it
Mark's rung me up a couple of times.
I had too much protein.
You are good friends.
Christ's sake, Mark.
Yeah, it's not just challenging questions as well, difficult questions. You sometimes you get asked things and you think, like really, like an example was someone asked me how much weight could a cable tray take for Christmas decorations.
Yeah.
And I'm like, what? How would I know that?
Yeah.
It's within your demise.
Yeah.
If you've got fit out plans, have a look at that. That will give you the information. Look at what's already on that. And then I went to visit that tenant, and they were showing me pictures, and it just looked like normal decoration, like light things.
Yeah.
So I thought, you've got air conditioning coming off of some of these. You're bolted into the ceiling.
It can probably
that's going to
cope.
be fine. And then they follow up with an email saying it's going to weigh between 30 and 40 kilograms. And it's a tree, and I went, no, I wouldn't attach it to the cable tray then.
No.
So they're going to go with just a normal tree, basically. But yeah, you just
At
some
least they
questions are-
ask.
Yeah.
I think that's rare.
Some people don't, and they just go and do it. Yeah, and then they go, oh, accidentally.
Yeah, and then suddenly
This thing's
someone's off the
collapsed.
wall. Yeah. And it's a health and safety issue, and there's a RIDDOR report, and,
Exactly.
and all of that stuff that you need to take into account. That's really interesting. So, so you all do quite varying jobs now. You know, I know that you look after 2 sites at the minute, Matt.
Correct.
You look after 1 site, and you look after multiple sites.
Yeah.
What are the intricacies or the challenges associated with looking after multiple sites, at least? Because it's slightly it must be because you also operate in other countries as well. So
Yeah.
we're quite interested to find out how that dynamic works.
Well, I have 21 sites in my patch, and that's across 13 countries.
Yeah. Because
I don't have.
You've been recruiting in Egypt recently, haven't you?
Yeah.
Because I see your LinkedIn post now.
Yeah.
That must be quite cool. Recruited in Egypt.
Yeah, it's great. It's really great, and you know, every site is different. Every country is different.
Yeah.
There's obvious stuff like different currencies, different languages, time zones, cultures.
Yeah.
Cultures is a big one, I would say. There's, it's very important, I think, to go as carefully as possible.
Yeah.
Because what I think might be a normal way to work. Everything I'd say is funny, but whatever. You know, if I'm trying to communicate something, I might do it in what is, I don't know, an English way for want of a better way to say it. But that might not go down well in other places, so I have to kind of read the room and take into account that there are cultural differences and different ways of working.
Well, one of our previous guests, Zoe Bond, said a very similar thing actually, because she used to work in multiple European countries, and what she said this specifically, what she said that may be funny on Wednesday in one country may not necessarily be funny on Thursday in a different country. So she had to really be very careful about how she framed certain things depending on where she was and what the audience was.
Yeah.
Now, I imagine that could be quite difficult.
Yeah,
it must be challenging.
I don't, it's not something that I think takes a lot of energy. It's just being aware that you can be construed and taken in ways that you don't mean.
Yeah.
So being careful how you approach things, being considerate to the other person, trying your best not to come across as rude, giving people time to explain themselves or communicate what they want to communicate. And I think that's all part of, the big thing that I love about my job is that it's people management.
Yeah.
And facilities management has brought me to I really enjoy my role because of the people management aspect. And it's broad and it's across multiple countries with different cultures, and everyone's great and gets along, and we have a good click.
Yeah. Do you think that because London's a very diverse city from a cultural perspective, that it actually gave you a bit of an advantage going into it?
100%.
Really?
100%. I mean, one of the things I love about London is that you can walk down the street and people will be talking in different languages and you won't have a clue what they're saying. That's great because I don't want to know what they're saying. I'm listening to my music or whatever, or thinking about something and not being distracted.
Yeah.
No, London's great for that. It's the best city in the world. And it's, I guess, in a way, a great training ground for cultural preparedness and understanding the differences.
Well, I guess another thing is as well, and I don't want to focus too much on your career, but what a lot of people who may be looking at this as a potential career in the future may not be aware of is that there are opportunities to work in multiple countries within this sphere. And, you're not limited to just England or London or Manchester or whatever. You can expand if you want to, of course, because I'm guessing it's not an easy job either, Ali. A lot of travelling, things like that, time away from the family.
It's a fair bit of travelling. It's harder, I think, on my wife than I really enjoy the travelling aspect, but it puts a burden on the family, so I need to balance
and
that.
with young kids as well.
With young kids,
that can be a challenge, to be fair. How do you manage that then? How do you take particular measures?
Got a very patient wife.
Yes.
And
who can't wait for you to
understanding. Yeah. She gets to watch all her shows as soon as out the door.
There's only one person with the Netflix account password. And things like that.
You make it work. You make it work, and she has a great career as well, and we both want each other to succeed. So when she's away for business, I'll fill in the gaps, but I tend to be away more because of the role.
Yeah. But it is very important. Like I think a lot of people, we don't sometimes talk about our partners, wives, husbands, whoever it may be at home that actually supports you to actually deliver your career, because we're all working individuals, so to have that support function at home whereby you don't get shouted at all the time because you're late, or it's
critical.
Yeah, it's absolutely, because I'm very lucky with my wife. Mum, she doesn't really say anything. I tell it annoys her, but rather than say, she just gives me a she doesn't view it as work. You're not working. You're networking.
Yeah.
I said, but it says work in it. You're just getting drunk. I'm like, no,
that's what networking is.
Yeah. How dare you make such a claim? This is not true. But she is very good as well. She understands that it's part of the job. So, James, I know that your wife is very supportive of you in terms of what you need to do as well. So has that impacted your career, having that?
Yeah, I mean, initially when I broke into facilities management as my first role, I was waiting in the foyer of the building where I was having an interview, and I started second guessing myself, thinking, I don't know if I could do this yet. Maybe I'm not ready. And I sent her a message saying, look, I'm going to pull out of this. I'm just going to walk out of the building. Yeah. And she sent me a message back, don't be silly. You're great at what you do. Just go for it. You're going to smash it. I know you will. Yeah. And then I ended up getting the role afterwards, and since then she's just supported every move that I've made.
Yeah. But similarly, you guys both do the same thing for your partners, your wives, your partners as well. To be fair. And Matt, you are FM's most eligible bachelor, aren't you?
So I've heard.
Yeah. So coming at it from a different angle, obviously being single at the moment, does that afford you, do you think, some kind of advantage within the space in terms of your ability to work or learn or develop, or it's important to see it from both angles, isn't it?
Yeah, no. I mean, I basically just get to do whatever I want. I'm accountable only to myself, essentially. So if I want to spend the weekend, if I'm studying for something, or going out networking, it's absolutely fine. But at the same token, you don't have the people there to, other than family and things like that, but you don't have that person there to share your wins with, share your losses with, and everything like that.
But it is important, that and similarly with friends and acquaintances and things like that, we do have very our job isn't a 9 to 5, our job is very much, it's quite reactionary. Things can go wrong. Sometimes you have to stay later. You may have to work weekends, building shutdowns and things like that. That's usually on a weekend. I'm guessing all of you guys have to go in for that kind of scenario on a weekend.
If there's an issue at 2 a.m.
You're the phone call.
You're the phone call.
Like I was in last 2 weekends. We had fixed wire testing, 5-year compliance. So, and for that, I've had phone calls at 10 p.m. that there's a leak coming down to the office floor below us. I'm the one that got the call in, and again,
So where do you all see your career going? Where do you want to be in 5 years? Do you have goals, aspirations that you're working towards?
Yeah, head of FM globally for hopefully my company that I work for now. Yeah, but we'll just see where it goes. But that's the plan. But obviously, senior manager, director, senior director. Yeah, head of. So you just want to keep developing that linear progression for me. Yeah, because I love what I do, right? And I love that the particular field of FM that I'm in. So and it seems to be that's my strong suit. So crack on with it.
So you want the travelling like Alex?
Basically. Well,
be careful what you wish for.
It is good. To be fair, I always thought because Megan, my ex, she used to travel for work quite a lot to Zurich and places, and it always sounded so glamorous. Yeah. So, you're going away, you're in a hotel, nice hotel.
You're on the road again.
And then when I travelled for work, for the first time, I was like, oh, okay, I see an airport or a train. I see a taxi, I see a hotel, I see the office I'm going to. I see the hotel, I see a restaurant by myself, and then you're like, well, actually, it's not as glamorous as it seems. Like, don't get me wrong, I'm very thankful for the opportunities I've had to get to travel, but I wouldn't want to do it week in, week out. You know?
No. Yeah, but I'm guessing you have to have a balance, Alex, because you've got to make it work across all elements.
I try and, obviously, with home life, balance the travel so it's manageable. And you're absolutely right. Often it maybe sounds a bit more glamorous than it is. Like you're going somewhere far away, but actually all you see is the inside of the hotel, the inside of the office. And by the end of the day, because you want to maximize your time, you're so exhausted at the end of the day, you just go back to the hotel and eat and sleep. And,
or you're catching up on your emails. You end up working
you're not
14 hours.
What I used to hate sitting in a restaurant in a hotel eating on your own. I used to hate that.
Yeah,
I still do now. Like if I'm if I have to travel for work.
I don't mind it, but it's part of the process, I suppose. And you're there for a reason to get a job done, and not to hang around. But I have taken the opportunity while in you mentioned Egypt and Cairo to go and see the pyramids while I was there.
That's fair.
I made it a important part of the last trip I was there. Just
what did you think? Out of interest.
Have you been before?
Yeah.
Have you?
Yeah.
Honestly, I've never been speechless.
Really?
Before. That's how I felt speechless. Yeah. Incredible.
What did you think of the litter and things like that, though? I was quite surprised.
Oh, just around the streets and stuff? Like everywhere's different. There's lots of litter around outside here in London,
This is true. Do you think we built the pyramids?
As in you and me?
Human beings. Human beings.
Do I think human beings, who else would have?
You don't want to get me on.
No, I think we need to find out. Yeah, no, look, of course.
Well, there's a lot of theories out there that there was perhaps. I'm not going to say aliens. All right. Have you ever heard of?
You
someone...
just did say aliens.
Well, it could be.
You've opened the can now.
It could be aliens. Oh, come on, it's a big old universe. There's no way there's only us there, is there? But there are theories out there that there was a. Have you heard of Graham Hancock and Randy Coulthard?
No.
Okay, so I'm really going on a left wing sphere here now, but it's good because we're going to talk about James in a minute, which
it's a good segue.
Which is a good segue. Yeah. So basically, they believe that at the end of the last ice age, which was over 11,000 years ago, that there was a large cometary impact. A comet impacted the Earth. But it impacted on top of the glacial ice sheets in the northern hemisphere, which then melted the ice sheets. And effectively, what you had was an ice wall. There is actual evidence of this taking place, by the way. I'm not just
probably stuff like that has happened in millions and millions of years.
But basically, what happened is, like in the Bible and things like that, they talk about the Great Flood, Noah, all of that stuff. Okay, so there is some actual legitimacy to this because what effectively happened is when the North Atlantic ice sheet got impacted by the comet, I can't even say it. It melted all of the water behind the ice wall. Yeah. And what fundamentally happened from there is that fractured, and then there were massive floods. And when we're talking, like we are talking a significant amount, not like a little bit, like an entire ocean of water coming across the northern hemisphere, across Europe, America, and things like that. And the reality is, what they think is that there were advanced civilizations, because you've got theories like the theory of Atlantis.
Yep.
Yeah. So 9 times out of 10, anything from a theological perspective has some kind of root in truth.
But
it has to, right?
72% of statistics are made up.
Well, this is true. Yeah. Who invited you, Jim? No, but these are legitimate theories from archaeologists. I'm not talking out there. Legitimate theories from archaeologists. And what they think is that perhaps there were more advanced civilizations of human beings that created technology that was superior to ours, but perhaps down a different line. So instead of technology that was centered around computers and electricity and things like that, maybe it was centered around sound waves or whatever, however. And what they think is that perhaps, because if you look at, if you've been to Egypt, you'll know that the Sphinx has actually, if you actually look at it in terms of the erosion and things like that, that's not air erosion or wind erosion. They believe that it's erosion from water.
Okay. Yeah.
If you actually look at it, you can see it.
Well, I know that the face of the Sphinx and lots of those artifacts were on purpose damaged.
Yeah.
The nose is chipped off, and it seems to be because of racism back in the day. So people didn't want to admit that people of color could be so advanced when they came across this stuff. So yeah, who knows is the answer. But it's got to be people. I mean, it could be aliens. It could be something else we might get onto.
I think it's more likely people. I honestly think it's more likely people. But I do think that theory's got a bit of weight, because in the geological record and also in soil samples, there is evidence of a massive flood 11,800 years ago.
Yeah.
And there's also evidence of advanced human technology.
But would that mean it was submerged then at that point? So it was existing, it was a structure, and it was submerged, hence the erosion?
I don't know all the details. You know.
So it was already there, basically, but by the time of this flood.
Well, I mean, we think that the pyramids are 4,000 years old, don't we? But we don't actually know. We don't know that for a fact. You can't carbon date them.
Yeah,
so in essence, that they could be 20,000 years old. They could be 15,000 years old. We just don't know.
I think there's, I mean, I don't know enough about this, but I, as far as I'm aware, as long as we're on this topic, we're closer in time to Cleopatra when she was alive and ruling than she was to the building of the pyramids. So they were already ancient by the time she was around.
And how crazy is that?
That's crazy.
That's mad, isn't it?
Absolutely crazy.
When you see them, and I hope everyone gets the chance to go and see them someday. Honestly, that's why my jaw dropped. It was magical, really.
No, but it was. And sorry for the segue.
That was
interesting. But do you know what? We can make that interesting. If there was some advanced civilization of human beings 12,000 years ago, do you think they had FMs?
They would stop that flood if they did.
Fair play.
They probably wouldn't have built the pyramids because they would have had health and safety as well.
No, they would have.
Plausible that they didn't. Yeah.
HSQ would have been around there, wouldn't they? I'd behave yourselves, we're playing that, to be fair. Oh, okay, cool. All right then, well listen, let's go into something a little bit different. So, we have an author in the room. Who's going to put their hand up? Hey, James. Okay, so James James Murphy is a soon-to-be author. You're going to have a book published very, very soon. It was a hidden talent of yours even I wasn't aware of.
Yeah,
to be quite frank.
To my chest,
So, do you want to tell us a little bit about the book, what the book's about, how it links into FM? Because
it's something that I thought about. It's something I thought of 10 years ago.
Tax reasons,
10 years ago, when I was working in Battersea that I mentioned earlier on. So when they said that they was going to redevelop it, I had come up with the idea in my head about, wouldn't it be interesting that while they're redeveloping it and they're doing the Northern Line extension, that while they're underground they come across something that then spawns a zombie outbreak on the London Underground.
Yeah,
and I just kept thinking about the idea, watching loads of movies.
Yeah.
Then you had The Walking Dead come out around about that sort of time. You've had The Last of Us game and then now the series since then. So I developed a saga of my own called The Signal Wars.
Right.
So it's a Signal Wars saga, and book one that's going through publishing at the moment is called Beneath the Dead, book one of the Signal Wars, and there's 6 of them.
Really?
So if it takes off the first book, then basically there's 5 more to follow.
Yeah.
And it could go, if it's successul, like a Netflix type series, possibly.
Really?
TV series.
Do you know something? I know an actor.
Ah, is that right?
I can audition.
Quite interesting.
Yeah, and obviously the Signal Wars is because the London Underground. So I just thought, let's call it the Signal Wars. And one of the bad people in it that creates the thing that makes the zombies come alive is called the Conductor.
Really?
Yeah.
Right.
Very good.
Yeah.
So how do they come alive? Can you give anything away? Or
it is to do with a signal. So the Conductor sends a signal out and it brings the dead back to life, basically.
Right, okay.
And I kind of wanted to put myself in as one of the heroes of the story as well.
Yeah.
But I had to change the name because my wife did say that James Murphy doesn't sound like a hero type name.
Right.
So I needed to come up with something else.
What did you change it to?
I changed it to Chase Murphy.
Chase Murphy. I like that.
Yeah.
Strong name.
So there's a website actually called thesignalwars.com, and if you type that in on Google, you'll come up and you'll see like a generated characters.
Well, I'll tell you what we'll do when we release the podcast. We'll pop it in the comment section. So if anybody wants to have a look at it, then they can.
Yeah, exactly that.
We're more than happy to support.
Because obviously, when it gets published, I then put that link on for people to download the ebook. Because it's going to be ebook first to start with, and then see where it goes from there.
Interesting.
Yeah,
Well, there's definitely a market for it though. Like
I think
people-
so, because
people love
zombies are quite
zombies.
current. Lots of people like it, and you see the success of The Walking Dead and The Last of Us right
Yeah,
now.
yeah, yeah.
It's-
Yeah, it's huge,
and
isn't
then
it?
you've got the 28 Days Later films, etc.
Yeah.
I just think the idea of a London Underground outbreak in London and being slightly different from the flesh-eating zombies,
Yeah.
it's not created other than a signal.
Yeah.
I just think it's something different people might like.
What do your zombies eat then?
They do attack people, yeah.
They do eat flesh.
Yeah, but no, it's not like the old brains.
That would be even better. Vegan zombies.
Yeah, the way they attack.
Yeah,
is,
going
is,
on
is
an
different
avocado.
from
They only come out at autumn.
Yeah,
going on an avocado tear up. Or something.
yeah, that'd be good.
I'm joking. But that's really interesting. Well, firstly, congratulations. It's
Thank you.
Brilliant.
no small undertaking.
No.
Writing a book. So I'm certainly looking forward to reading it.
Yeah, well, hopefully
when it
everyone
comes
else enjoys it as well.
Yeah, definitely. Okay. Should we get back to a bit more FME stuff? I think we should talk about some sort of geopolitical stuff, okay, which I think affects our world. So one of the things is EDI, equity, diversity and inclusion. Obviously ESG, let's call it that. Environmental, social and governance. Obviously, with the way things are in America at the minute, there's this move away from DEI, ESG and things like that. I think it's a positive thing for our ways of working in terms of how the FM industry operates. But as we know, what happens in America tends to bleed into the UK. How do you guys see that impacting us or the UK market?
That's a good question. I think we just have to be remember that everybody's human. Everyone has feelings. We need to remember that. I think it has got a bit toxic in some areas.
It has, yeah.
We have a very fortunate position as most of the time the people that everyone in our businesses know.
Yeah.
Face of the company to a lot of people.
The gatekeepers. To a certain extent. Yeah.
And I think, with that, probably a responsibility to continue to act in, the best possible way, give people the right experiences, make them feel good, right?
Yeah.
Fix their problems.
Yeah.
Whoever they are and whatever they look like and everything else.
Yeah, because I think we kind of do that anyway. I think it's kind of the British culture is to be very, we don't really care about you. You crack on, do what you're doing. It's that kind
It's
of
the norm, isn't it?
Yeah, it's that kind of culture over here. I think it is interesting that the US has gone down that route though, and how it will, because it will have an impact. There's already politics here in the UK talking about it. So that's the only reason I bring it up. I'm not trying to say anything controversial to catch anybody out.
Yeah.
But I'm just thinking, in 5 years' time, how does that? Because our businesses are framed around those kind of core principles and so on and so forth. So do we think that there'll be changes to those core principles? Do you, as professionals, it's just a
I like for me, I don't see it changing at all. Like the ethos is you just treat people like people.
Yeah.
Regardless, someone's identity, is their identity. That's absolutely fine.
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, they're just a person that you're talking to. You have a conversation with. Why treat them any different?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Regardless of where they came from. Maybe I'm speaking as an immigrant, right? And I know immigration's a hot topic I won't get into, but it's like I'm aware that I'm different to other people because I come from a different country. I say things a bit funny. I've got different,
certainly say things funny, mate.
different customs, things like that. Like I've offended a few people with some things that I've said that are quite normal to say in New Zealand. So.
Yeah. Lasagna-Topper.
Lasagna-Topper. No,
Yeah,
I can tell you. I made the mistake. I was chatting to someone and they're saying, "Oh, I don't really drink much." I was like, "Oh, you're a cheap date."
Yeah.
What'd you say to me? I was like, "Oh, cheap date."
Yeah.
Like, you don't drink much. So that's not what it means here, Matt. I was like, "Oh."
Yeah.
I was like, "What does it mean?" She's like, "It means you get around." I was like, "Oh no."
Yeah.
Where I come from.
We can all make that mistake.
Yeah,
you can.
But it's just why change just because you get I get America's big and it's a big power in the world, but just hold true to your values and treat people the way they deserve to be treated, essentially.
Yeah, me personally, I don't think it'll impact anything.
No.
I mean, I asked the question, but I asked the question because I find it interesting because you see what's going on over there, and it's very, it's just very charged, isn't it? And very, I just don't think that the average person, wherever they're from in the UK, really cares that much about it in terms of what anybody else is doing. And I think we're quite an interesting space whereby we'll just crack on, no matter what.
It'll only impact if we let it, essentially, right? So, and you might get some businesses, American business might get a push to stop using terms or celebrating certain things, but
and that's up to the organisation as well. I guess ultimately, if it's not you, it's not the direction you and your principals want to where you want to be. It's up to you whether you want to stay in that organisation, right?
I think that's what you find with a lot of people here, because the UK is the way that it is. It's just crack on and do things.
Yeah,
people will find, or those businesses will find, they'll lose a lot of talent because people can't bother with this rubbish.
I think they'll have to align their values to the values of kind of the UK marketplace, really. I think, and I think most companies will do that. I really don't see there being a significant drift towards anything. To be fair, because it's like you said, it is driven by people, isn't it? And I know the people that I meet across the industry. And I do think we're quite lucky because our industry is so welcoming, kind. Everybody is quite interesting, whether they're a beast, a lasagna-topper, or a zombie. But it is, it's a very, what do you call it? Is a good term a broad church? I suppose. I think would be a really good term for our industry on the whole. But it's I find it interesting. When you watch the news these days and you see what's going on, I always look at it and I think, how will that sort of trickle down and impact what we do on the day to day? Because sometimes they do. It does, doesn't it?
I almost think it's almost like watching a film. It's very different from the day to day. Well, me speaking as who I am, and the way I interact with people. But some of the stuff you see on the news, it's meant to excite and it's meant to get people riled up and a bit angry. And actually, those things do happen. But I think, to your point, I think generally speaking, my experience anyway is that society is okay, and in the FM sphere, it's we are, hospitality comes into our brief.
Yeah, of course it does.
So we are. I guess we should know about being hospitable more than anyone else.
Well, we're kind of the tip of the spear, I suppose, because it is very much a people-focused industry, isn't it? Like, probably more so, especially when you're looking at that workspace element, because you're developing spaces specifically around what people need within any specific environment.
Yeah, correct. Like if we didn't have employees, like I'd be out of a job essentially. Do you know what I mean? Like people in the business coming into the workplace and things like that. But that's our role, is to welcome them, to create amazing, inspiring spaces they can come and do the best work. They can come and thrive. They can grow themselves, and just make life easy for people coming to work essentially.
And to make the occupiers of the premises you manage an enjoyable experience while they're there, running their own business as well.
So what would be, are there core principles associated with that? Is there like 4 things that you guys focus on to create a space which is engaging and people want to take advantage of, or 3 things or 2 things or whatever?
You want to go ahead? One thing that we developed in our team last couple of years was an FM mission statement, and it's got several points on it which I can't remember off the top of my head, but the general vibe, because I try and renew them every year as well and make them mean something.
But that's good though, isn't it? You're not just sticking to one premise that's been
and I think the first time we did it there must have been like 14 or 15 points on it, and the last January about 7 I think points, and so probably 1 point next year. But they were all centered around doing the right thing and being there for our stakeholders and colleagues, and continuing our educational journey and just continuous improvement. So I think all those things are they help us get better at supporting our occupiers or our clients or our customers or our stakeholders.
Yeah.
However you want to call them.
Do you know what I've just realised?
Beast is way too cool for me. It's
No.
It's already trademarked by Eddie Hall.
going to be like,
No, do you know what I just realised? Just sort of harking back, I asked where you want to be in 5 years. Matt answered, and then you two...
Yeah, we went off on a complete tangent.
We went on a
Yeah,
tangent about the pyramids and all that stuff, didn't we? So, James, where do you want to be in 5 years?
5 years, hopefully a successful author, and
Well,
you never know. So
yeah.
maybe
You're
involved
well
in
on the way.
movies. And,
Yeah.
So
that'd be
basically,
great.
you want to quit FM.
Not necessarily, because the book might not be a flop. But my wife's Australian. Main goal for my wife, she'd
sorry
like
to
to
hear
move. She'd like to move back home to Brisbane. Obviously, if I'm still doing this type of work, FM building management, there's loads of big buildings in Brisbane.
This is true.
Yeah, so to carry on being successful. doing
And if
what
you
I'm
are
doing.
making TV shows, you're obviously going to need somebody to host the Signal Wars podcast, aren't you?
Yes, that would be something. Yeah.
And a
I'll
couple
try
of
and think of
extras.
someone.
Yeah, yeah.
Someone to manage your vast estates.
Yeah, that's it.
And these
yeah.
two wouldn't even need to get dressed up.
it's funny because it's true.
No, I'm joking. What about you, Alex? Where would you see yourself in 5 years' time?
I don't know. Keep doing what I'm doing.
See where it goes.
Get more strings in the bow. I recognise about myself that there's what I would like to do more of and grow into is transactions and get a feel for the negotiations around taking new leases and bits and pieces like that. So that would be good because I don't have a huge amount of experience there.
Yeah.
I
Because you do
think
quite
that would
a bit
help
in terms
round
of
me out.
acquisitions and things like that, don't you, in your business, I believe?
The business does, yeah.
Would you
I
like? Is that
involved in
something that you would want to get involved in as well? Or?
No, not in terms of acquisitions for the business. I'm happy in FM and in my lane, but I guess just branching out into other parts of real estate management and further into that strategic space.
Right. Okay.
As well, enjoy the operational side, but I think that's where I've got room to grow.
Yeah. So it's the planning, the delivery, and
And look, what kind of at the moment, what kind of strategy do we have? What kind of workplace strategy are we looking at? But also getting to a space where looking at the sites, is there a new build we want to get into before it comes out of the ground? Having those conversations around lease management. So that'd be my direction probably.
Okay. Now, where do you guys think we're going to be? I ask this question all the time, which is probably about AI. I think it's quite different in the environment that you guys operate in, perhaps to previous guests that we've had in the show. How do you think AI will impact workplace moving into the future, the next 5 to 10 years?
So,
because I see your business advertises for AI.
we advertise heavily for AI, and we've invested a lot of time and money and infrastructure into AI.
Yeah.
I see it being used as a tool for us to obviously save time, but especially if you talk about the lease administration piece, right? You can write what they call LLM with your parameters of these are our favourable terms within a lease. So it then scans your lease contract document for you, automatically redlines where you're going.
Time saving.
Yeah. But then, you could take that one step further and you go, right, we want, 100,000 square foot of, real estate in this area. We want to pay X amount per square foot.
Yeah.
Bring me, almost that brokerage piece. Or compare this lease document to similar buildings and similar real estate on the market. Are we getting a fair deal per square foot? And come back and go, actually, that building down the road that's similar style, built similar age, has size, everything like that, is £5 a square foot.
Yeah.
Cheaper.
Interesting,
Yeah. But
nobody's given me that response. That's a good response. Yeah.
I was chatting about AI today, actually. Not because I was coming on here, just because it keeps coming up.
You were prepping for the question, mate. You knew it was coming.
We went into this blind.
Yeah.
In the interest of fairness. No, but I was using it for a growth and development tool as well.
Yeah.
And to help prepare for growth conversations. So as a friend from work actually sent me a particular prompt, and it basically, using Copilot, because that's the one that we align with as a business, it scanned all my emails, all my Teams messages, and I asked it to give it 10 areas that I'm missing and give me specific examples of where I'm missing in my day-to-day work. And it came back with this big list. I said, right, now give me an action plan to resolve it with a success matrix and everything like that. And it came back and gave me that. Now, it was all stuff that I knew, but seeing it there and going, there's specific examples of, you're always the first to answer. Like you've taken late night calls, you've answered Teams messages, as soon as you wake up and da-da-da-da. And then it goes, right, set your boundaries, use this response. And then it's, right, help me prep for my growth conversation. Right, here's your growth conversation that you can have, bring up this. Here's how you can ask if you want to stretch assignment, things like that. So I think it's going to be a real useful tool for that going forward and helping people coming into the industry who are going to be familiar with AI already to just sort of really enhance those conversations and get them up to speed.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
I've never used it for that before, but I like that concept. I think it's really cool.
Yeah.
What about you guys?
I don't see you could probably use it for reception for big buildings, couldn't you?
Yeah.
That could roll it out there. You wouldn't need a physical presence as such.
Yeah.
But that it could go down that road. I think lots of other buildings are trialing some of that out already.
Hologram?
Yeah, exactly that. Yeah.
The technology's good there, though,
Yeah.
in terms of holograms.
I consider that, though.
ABBA show.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I want to
Just get ABBA.
That is amazing.
To do the reception.
Yeah. You
Might not be the cheapest option.
But I went to Disney World quite recently, and they utilise holograms a lot. And I was really shocked at how good the technology was. Like, I know you've seen it on the TV, but I was like, no way, that's that is really good.
Interesting.
You couldn't tell. Like literally,
Really?
yeah, you can't tell. No,
Really?
no, you have no idea. I'll go specifically to the Frozen ride because my daughter is obsessed with Frozen. But Elsa and who's the other girl?
Anna.
Yeah.
I know that because I've
Yeah,
got
you've got
Spots-
girls,
spots-
But Elsa and
just
Anna,
because I'm into it. It is good though. It's really good.
they had them as holograms on it was an animatronic doll, but the head was a hologram. If that makes sense. And you can't tell.
That's interesting.
It looks like a person.
Yeah. That's kind of scary.
It is,
it is, isn't it?
Yeah, it is really scary. So if you could, have that kind of generated out of a small unit in a reception area, I could understand why that.
But would you not think that takes away from that human element of it? I know that's what it's designed to do, right? But for me, I like going when I came to your building, Alex. When I come to
we're
speak
friends
on
too.
your
See?
so
We're friends too.
No, it's fine.
when I come to speak on your
I'm glad I could introduce you both.
your talent, it was really nice being greeted.
Yeah.
They
That's
knew
good to
who I
know.
was. I think because I was coming in red faced after
That was my bad.
But
yeah.
but it's for me that's
Yeah.
and if I look at my front of house in London, our London office, we have our employee space and we have our executive experience centre where we bring our clients, right? The very first point of contact for our customers is our front of house team.
Yeah.
And that's their
Sets
first.
the
Some of them
tone.
that's some of them returning, right? But some of them that's their first experience of.
Yes, the greeting, the meeting and greeting.
Yeah.
The
And I'm-
welcoming.
Yeah. Personally,
I don't disagree with that.
Yeah.
I do think that human beings have a history, quite a significant history, of sacrificing service for convenience.
Yeah.
And I'll give you examples of that. Supermarkets. Banks. Where now I could see. I mean, I don't. If you had a massive reception area that was very, very busy, I don't think it would be all holograms. But I could see there being one person that's an individual controlling it all, and then several holograms booking people in. I could, because we have a history of it.
That could be. That things like that can happen and have happened. To your point, things have changed. Technology has moved on. Roles do disappear as technology can take over and make it easier. But then ultimately, you still need people to program that stuff. You still need people to maintain it, fix it when it's not working.
Yeah.
From an FM perspective, I think that doesn't go away.
They change that, don't they? Because you could also have a scenario, I suppose, as well. What's that film where where they go into avatars? That Steven Spielberg one, and they put the thing on.
Avatar.
The blue.
Yeah.
It is There's something about avatars, but
No, not avatar. But let's say you're a concierge or a customer service representative on a reception desk. What's to say that in the future you actually need to leave your home?
You could be working
You could
from
just
home.
put on your 3G
Yeah,
app,
you could work
and then
from
it
home,
populates a holographic image of you.
maybe.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
you
Maybe. That'd be cool.
We could probably do that now, though. That's how crazy technology
You can work
is.
from home, but not be at home.
Yeah.
We probably could.
Yeah,
Yeah. Well, it's probably incredibly expensive at the minute, but I bet the facility is there. I bet it happens somewhere. You know?
Yeah, maybe. I don't think that's a bad thing, though. Things move on, and I think people still need to be involved. Traditional roles might not always be around, but they evolve, and people end up doing different things, and that's the nature of progress.
Yeah.
But I think, to your point, the human interaction piece remains. It's important. That's what people look for.
Definitely.
I agree. I think that's very important. Have you seen the new robots now that they're promoting for your house and things like that? They can actually do menial tasks.
That's what robots should be doing.
No, I know. But have you seen it?
No.
So it's
looking very Terminator, isn't it?
No, it looks weird, but it's like 5'6", and you can stack your dishwasher, cut your grass.
Yeah, until it has that chip fit
your
inside,
eye
and it's like,
Well, that's why with Alexa, I always say please. Just because when they
when they rise up, she's going to remember.
You don't want that record of Alexa going. Hang on,
I was.
But it's crazy.
That's what you want.
No, I agree.
Picking the tomatoes and the potatoes
pick up
and
the dog poo.
and do all that stuff,
having,
and let people do creative things and things that make life meaningful. Good.
Yes.
Good.
What if they do? But then what if the government turns them against us? Which could happen. Digital ID and things like that. Like if they can plug into an Alexa, they can plug into Doris the robot that's doing in your eye.
But then everything's hackable, so you could just.
Exactly. Yeah.
That's the other scary thing, isn't it? How do you protect that from a technology perspective? And then when it gets to AGI, artificial general intelligence, then we're talking something.
Is that the singularity?
Yeah. Well, there's two of them. There's AGI, which is artificial general, and there's another one, which is above that, but I can't remember what it is. I think that
where it's self-aware.
Yeah, that's the singularity.
Yeah.
The one above average general intelligence is where they're smarter than us.
Right.
Like
That's not a good look, is it?
No,
Average general intelligence is smarter than us.
Yeah. There's a lot.
Yeah, but it is true. I can't remember what the other one is.
You're having a debate about football in the living room with a couple of mates over a beer, and you say something, the robot walks in. Actually,
You're who do you think you are? Yeah, but it is interesting when you think about where we could potentially be in because I've said this before, like the internet changed things, didn't it? But over like a 20-25 year period, I think AI, in terms of whether it's robots running around, average general intelligence, whatever it might be, the speed of change will be far quicker with AI than with the Internet of Things and so on and so forth. It's just going to be ramped up, isn't it?
Yeah, no, definitely.
I'm just hoping we can fly to places like Australia in like 2 hours.
Yeah, that'd be good.
Maybe you go into cryo sleep. Even if it's like a 24-hour journey, but
you feel like in 5 seconds.
How come we can't do the Star Trek teleporting yet?
Yeah, I was going to say the same thing. I was going to say that. You'd be there instantly.
You wouldn't have to live in Sydney, mate. You could just commute there every morning.
Yeah, that'd be good.
That'd be all right, wouldn't it? To be fair.
Would you want your matter, your cells, to be ripped apart and reconstituted on a different side of the planet?
Sometimes they go back the same way.
As long as it works. I'd send you through.
Test it out for us.
Have you seen The Fly? Come out like that. Yeah, that's
a scary film, isn't it?
You know what? Let's give it a couple more years.
Yeah. Okay, cool. But it is how it's pacing is interesting. I think how lucky we are to live in what is a very scary time, but also a very exciting time from a technology perspective. Because I think the world will look very different in 10 years to what. And we've experienced so much anyway. Yeah. We've gone through the internet, smartphones, kind of everything. When we all got phones. I know, Matt, you're not quite our age range, but like I had a Nokia 3310 or something like that. The best thing it did was play Snake.
Yeah, the indestructible one. We used to play rugby with it. It was so indestructible.
Yeah, and then look at Blackberries as well. Do you remember Blackberries?
Yeah, they were very popular.
Have you watched the film Blackberry?
No.
So there's a film out on Netflix about the history, the start of BlackBerry, and then their great period, and then obviously the iPhones coming in. And it was actually quite a short period. It was only about 15 years where they had a monopoly of the smartphone market, but then the iPhone just obliterated them. Like overnight as well. And when you actually watch that, you're like, wow. Like, what is technology going to do once it gets even better?
But I think that with AI, it's a hot topic. Everyone's talking about it in every walk of life.
Yeah.
And I don't know about you guys. I get a sense that everyone feels like, oh, AI can solve it. Just rub some AI on it.
It's a little bit like that.
Just rub a bit of AI on it, and it'll be fine. I think it's just a tool. To your point, it's a tool just to sort of gather information together, help you out a bit. Large language models, right? That's kind of what it is. Until it becomes a singularity, I think we're okay.
No, when I say the pace of change, I don't mean AI as in AI becoming a single. What I mean is the pace of change of technology around it. So that's what I mean. I mean
everything else coming.
Cars are going to get better. Planes are going to get better. Everything that we use at the minute is going to get better. X times 100 or whatever. Do you know what I mean? That's what I mean by that, rather than...
I was watching a video this morning on the way into work. It was a clip from, what's his name, Joe Rogan podcast, and he had the fella that created Yellowstone in, is it 1886?
83, I think,
Yeah, and they were talking about the gap between 1923 and the 80s, and then the 80s to now.
Yeah.
It's pretty much the same gap, right?
Yeah.
But the leap in technology... From now to the 80s versus 80s to 1923 is
every 2 years technology or processing power doubles.
You think 1923 was still trench warfare and everything like that, and then
just think about the energy consumption levels we're going to need over the next 5-year period.
I think
deal with.
That's a genuine problem.
It's a huge problem.
It's a massive problem. So that's the thing. If you say thank you to ChatGPT, the power after it gives you something, the power that
something like 7 grams of carbon just from your request.
It is crazy. Yeah. So that's the first. I mean, that's until you get something that's sustained, like a hydrogen or a fusion type engine, some kind of clean energy process. Then that's what I see stunting it. The energy as opposed to.
And to your point, it's exponential growth, and there's everybody's driving as fast as they can towards it, but this is a problem right now. How do we power them? How do we sustain them?
But then I think AI will actually help solve that problem.
Hopefully,
I think it will, help solve. So it's very interesting. It's very exciting times. Yeah. I don't think we're going to see any Terminators or like that. Although it would be cool to see a T-1000 riding a motorbike, wouldn't it? As long as he was chasing
Unless it's the last thing you see.
Unless it's the last thing you see. Yeah. Okay, cool. All right, then, guys. I think that kind of brings us to the end of today's show. How have you found it?
Yeah, it's brilliant.
Very good.
Really interesting.
Yeah.
You had a good time?
Yeah.
Very much.
Yeah, very much so.
Yeah.
Nice
Very
to
good
chat to
host.
these guys.
Yeah.
No, it has.
And yourself, of course.
Yeah.
You're all right.
Yeah.
I'm just there on the periphery, mate.
Oh, I forgot you were there, Mark.
You're the host with the most. You're the host with the most.
Yeah, I don't know about that. But listen, guys, I'd like to really thank you for coming in. We actually touched on some really interesting topics there. A few I think you weren't expecting, but I did think that they were relevant to the industry moving forward. So thank you very much for your honest viewpoints and for supporting the exchange. Thanks, guys.
Thanks very much.
Thank you.
Cheers.
All right, guys, that brings us to the end of episode 4, Discovering Workplace. We didn't really talk that much about workplace, but we really did talk about the things that will impact workplace into the future. So that brings us to the end. Thank you very much. And as ever, if you can't be good, be bad. Bye-bye.